Aloha all. I wanted to do this video, and honestly, I feel like this is one of the most important videos that I've done up until this date. It feels so momentous and big, and it will completely shift the trajectory of this planet if each being begins to embody this truth. And what a magnificent time that we're living in. To me, every time one of these teachings comes through, and it's usually when I'm in medicine or meditation that I get to experience myself in that place of unity, in oneness, in connection to Source Creator, this diamond consciousness that is crystal clear about what is happening. And so, one of our greatest powers, perhaps the greatest power that most people are unaware of and don't utilize, is the power of perception. You see, how we choose to look upon something is how we're going to experience it in this realm as physical, separate beings. What most people don't yet comprehend is the greatest power lies when you claim the perception to see things through the eyes of Creator consciousness. There's so many ways to be able to look upon each situation that occurs to you and occurs in the world. And if we can begin to shift the way that we internally narrate the story into one of empowerment, into one of seeing the highest perspective, then we will begin to experience it from that state of being. If something has been created that you are experiencing, it's because Source, along with you as its co-creator, have co-created that to appear before you. And if you can begin to always see every present moment in your life as that, you will radically shift the way that you interact with it through your human identity. And I want to actually talk about something that was really beautifully gifted to me today. I watch a lot about the pyramids, and I'm very in connection with the ancient mystery schools and the path of initiation and what happened in what we perceive as ancient times, but these times are now, and the initiations that there is a remembering of in the cells of our being. What it was to be initiated, to move through the ascension process in previous incarnations, or perhaps remembering them in future incarnations. See, old timelines, past and future, can converge in the now, and we can have access to all of it. So it doesn't actually matter if it's in the past or the future. These are this time system only exists here. When we see it from above, it's all happening simultaneously. And we can pull in the experiences through opening up the living library of our DNA in order to be able to experience what could be perceived as past or future in the now and open up those memories. But that's not what I came to talk about. One of the things that I have actually researched and simultaneously remembered. There's so much in our scientific world that is trying to figure out how possibly these pyramids could have been built. These rocks weighing hundreds of tons. How were they placed the way they were placed? How were they made with such precision to fit together perfectly that you couldn't even put a hair between one of those stones? And it perplexes our scientists. They can't understand because it couldn't be done now, because from the level of consciousness that they're coming from, no, it couldn't be done now. But unless you expand your consciousness, you cannot see how that could have possibly been built. It is a higher level consciousness that created it. And there's some research out there on the sound and how they can create different vibrations that actually lighten these stones. And that's much closer to the truth of how all of it happened. And so what was shown to me today was that all of these temples that I have existed in other simultaneous lifetimes, all of the ancient sacred cities of this planet at one time were etheric temples. Machu Picchu, the Great Pyramids, Chichen Itza, all of these places, Stonehenge, they were etheric. They were places of vibration, of energetic light that shifted and lifted the consciousness of the planet herself. And there was a time at which we were the same. We have been in our light bodies before. These temples have been temples of etheric light, before or future, however you want to think about it. And it has been the forgetting of our consciousness burying itself so deeply into this dense form realm, the belief of becoming solid that has created the density and the weight. We have become so solid because we have buried our consciousness in solidity. These temples have light, have mirrored its solidity to us because the consciousness of it has become buried in how we perceive it. Everything has been built from atoms and molecules, particles of light. It's what we all are, actually. Quantum physics is already proven this if you need scientific confirmation. We are constantly in motion, particles or waves of light, only appearing solid because that which observes that believes it to be solid. It is the observer effect that creates the experience of solidity. Nothing is actually solid. So these places where they're still trying to figure out how these pyramids were built, they can never comprehend it from the level of mind because it is consciousness. And so if we take that knowing, the same concept, and we apply it to our world, we can begin to unlock the secrets of creation, the secrets of how this reality actually works and how malleable it is depending on the construct of belief that we are holding, both individually and as a collective. Even the fact that you are an individual being is actually illusory. Because when all the solidity goes, we are connected particles of light intelligence. And so, as that, when we embody and truly remember that, then we become one with creatorship again, co-creating with the field of consciousness itself that we are not separate from. And when we take full responsibility for that creatorship, we will begin to shift that which we choose to create. And so, from the vantage point of where we're looking right now outwards and seeing all that is going on and seeing the controllers, the spiritual war on consciousness, the dismantling and collapsing of old systems, the darkness, the cabal that wants to put in the new systems, let's shift that as creators. Let's expand our consciousness so that when we look at that which we have created, we can begin to dismantle that story and reinstall a new one that gives us back the power of creation itself. So, the first thing is you have to cease blaming anything out there and take full responsibility for playing in the reality that created it in the first place. And the reality from my vantage point that created in the first place was the part of consciousness, part of my being or my identity or my programming that allowed me to give up my power to have a system out there take care of me, to trust a government, to want a government, to use the government programs, right? Whether it's education or receiving scholarships or reliance on a medical system. Basically, every single constructed system out there that we've given our energy and our power and played into has served to build it. We have given our attention over to fear. And yes, you can look at that and say we have been indoctrinated and we have been programmed and we have been conditioned, yes. And now that you're aware of it, you get to take your power back. And it's because that you have become aware of it, because it's played its part to catalyze your awakening. It has a part to play. Every single thing that you are pointing the finger at has played the perfect character for your awakening to your power and your divinity and your ability to create something new. It is part of a magnificent play where we get to forget so fully and remember through all of these circumstances that are playing out right here and right now. This is a glorious time to be alive. But you have to be really in your focus, in your precision, in every moment, so that you are responding to the moment with your power intact, with all of your energy intact, understanding what energy you are allowing into your field and any place within your life that it could be being siphoned, right? Whether you're watching videos, whether you're scrolling on social media, other people that you're surrounding yourself with, the food that you're eating, the water that you're drinking, the conversations that you're having, the actions that you're taking. What energy are you coming from at all times? Your foundation has to be stable. It has to be crystal clear. that you are so present in every moment, that your every thought, every word, and every deed is in service to creating the new vision that is coming forth from you, that is co-creating with Source. This is a unbelievably beautiful moment of coming back into the divinity that you are. It's an extraordinarily empowerment to remember this. That just by holding my knowing and my vision and connecting myself plugged into the higher consciousness of I am presence, that what I am projecting out with my energy is heaven on earth. That anything that has had control of my energy in the past is no longer fed by that. I am fully taking back every ounce of energy in my body, and everything that I co-create from the foundation will have not a shred of fear or doubt or guilt or shame or unworthiness in it. Because as I co-create with the divine source of all things, Mother, Father, God, from my foundation, I am in service to all consciousness. And as I make that declaration, I live by it with every breath I take. That I am in co-creation with universal love, with truth. This is the omniscient seeing, the omniscient eye of God that looks through everything. Christed consciousness is giving you the eyes to see who you are and choose from that knowing. There is nothing outside of you that is creating the reality except the belief in the mind that you give it. The label with which you place on it is how you will experience. Collapse that, shift it, create a new narrative that serves you being in the highest power with all the other beacons of light that are holding that North Star with you. Do you even comprehend what we're doing here? As all of us come in to the beacons and the pillars of the light that we are, and we hold the vision because we are connected in our consciousness. We are holding the vision for heaven on earth, where we create from a state of bliss. There is no fear that exists here, and anything that has fed off our fear then gets dissolved. But it is dissolved because of the love and compassion and the remembrance that we are creating this, that we are dreaming forth the vision of gods and goddesses through our vessels. And there's much humility in this, right? I am no different than you. I am you. I am reflecting to you who you are with my whole heart. And those of you that are holding this light down, oh, wow, I see you. I feel you. It's why it's getting so strong right now. We are shifting the tides. We are shifting how everything is done. It's a magnificent moment to witness our becoming. I'm going to continue to share with you as this continues to open up within me. But we have the keys to the grand kingdom and the queendom, and we are unlocking it within our own DNA. We are igniting the phosphorescent light that is the codes on every single strand of DNA, and it is opening us up to the arc of the infinite, Solomon's seal, the holy grail, that we remember what it is to create as one loving, omniscient God. I just let that all flow. So I hope it is received. I hope that it makes sense. And it actually doesn't need to make sense to your mind. It is so much bigger than that. You are so much bigger than that. You are vaster and more illuminated than you can even imagine. Our identities as we've known it are dying. They are literally dying, and we are opening up to our God self, our divine creator consciousness, the spark of God that lives within the heart of each and every one of us. So let the celebration begin, because we are conceiving of a new world through this immaculate conception, through light conception. And we are giving birth to the grandness and the beauty and the balance and the unity that we have all envisioned. I love you. I am you. Aloha. Be well. Till next time.